Pete Salmon, Armistead Property. It's the 14th of May 2019 on a beautiful day in Chorlton, Hardy, and we are at 22 Edge Lane, which is the newest purchase for us. It's a wonderful Cheshire brick building, 5 apartments inside. We'll be looking to do a standard job on this. Really excited about this project. Let's go and have a look around and then talk about what we're hoping to do with it. So here we are in the entranceway of the property, and as you can see, it's not in a particularly good state. There's rubbish everywhere, and it's not in a very good state of repair. Importantly, and especially for people who are not familiar with property investment and development, it's all about seeing the future potential of the property and not seeing it in its current state. So for instance, here we've got a large property, it's got 5 flats, it's got plenty of space, and it's got some great external features. We'll be looking to keep as much of that as possible, but also to totally re-engineer the internal space. We'll be looking to extend, to add the number of units and to finish it to a really nice high quality. You see that there are some nice period features. Unfortunately, when we re-engineer the property, we won't be able to keep all of those, but we'll do our best to retain those period characteristics. So let's have a look at some of the rooms. I'll give you an intro to some of them, but we'll just have a scan around a couple of them as well, give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. So here we are in the front of the property, and this is a kind of hodgepodge kitchen living room area. Again, we'll try and look through that and we'll see its potential. So what we can do here is we can move the walls. We'll obviously take all of this out, take the flooring out. You see there's some mold patches in the walls as well, but we'll be taking the plaster off there and we'll be taking it back to the brick and really starting from there so that we can put in high spec insulation, good quality walls on top of that, and then a nice finish on top. We will necessarily be dropping the ceiling for this a little bit to give room for the flats above, so that we can maximise the space in here. So this will totally change, but this one has got potential to have a really nice window out at the front, and it may be that we're putting the entrance in the front of the building here as well. Plans are in progress at the moment. Let's look around some of the other rooms. This kitchen really demonstrates the state of the property, and actually the not particularly nice living conditions that it was. We've got exposed pipes, we've got ripped out cupboards, there's muck everywhere. It's really not a fit state for living. But again, for us, this is an excellent canvas. We can move this around, we can turn it into a wonderful space, and we can make this a nice living environment for someone. So that's actually very pleasing, but at the moment requires quite a lot of work. Here we are in the central stairwell. As you can see, it's actually got a great amount of light coming through, and it's a big space. The problem with that is there's actually a lot of unused space. It's circulation space that can't be used for living environment. One of the other interesting things is to see how people have had the living spaces configured before. This is quite unusual in that there's stairs on both sides, doors on both sides of the stairs, and they just link round to each other. I think what happened previously is there were 2 different flats. Clearly, this is a feature we probably won't keep, and will make it much more straightforward. This is the top floor of the property, and again, one thing to point out is the poorly utilised space. We've got quite a low ceiling level, but it does go out to the eaves. And there's also potential, especially looking at the building next door where there's been some extension. So what we'd be looking to do is, if we change the floor levels, we can maximise the height in here, and if we extend, then we expand the area. So that's another way that we can add floor space and also nice floor space to the property. So this would be an area that we focus on in terms of that. So here we are in the basement or the lower ground floor, and well, where to start? We won't be able to smell it, but it smells quite strongly of damp. The ceiling height is low. There's some moisture coming in here. There's some damp around the floor levels. Clearly, there's not an adequate water membrane in here. There's definitely an opportunity to dig down a little bit to increase the height of the room. And then what we will do, I'm sure you've seen on the other projects, is use a proper tanking system to create a proper water membrane and pump out any water that would get in. So you could see this as lots of obstacles to overcome, but equally a great opportunity for us to, again, maximise and improve the space that's already here. So whilst it smells of damp now, that's almost perfect for us. We can really make that wonderful afterwards. Okay. So here we are at the back of the property now, and looking at ways that we can add value to this. There are a number of ways. One would be looking to extend, and actually next door, which is the other side of the semi-detached property, they have an extension on the back, which is a good precedent for planning gain. So chances are that we can apply to the council and they'll approve us to extend as well. And then looking into the rest of the garden, you'll see there's actually quite a lot of space back here. And it's quite a nice, peaceful, green space. What we can do here, as well as making sure that there's parking spaces for each of the tenants, we can landscape this. We can make this a nice, peaceful area for the residents to spend some time. And also we can make sure that there's covered bike storage and bin storage as well. So that actually the experience of living here would be excellent. So there we go. That's a quick overview of 22 Edge Lane, which is the newest addition to our pipeline of future projects. As I say, we're quite excited about it. Lots of opportunity to add value to this. The process from now is that we'll go to work with the architect and we'll go to the council and we'll submit a planning application. That process will realistically take about 4 months. And then we'll be looking to start the build process once we've completed one of our other projects. So hoping to start this in probably about September or October of this year. So stay tuned for updates in terms of the plans, the figures, and what's to come. It's Pete Salmon, Armistead Property in Chorlton cum Hardy on the 14th of May 2019.